So, one of the reasons why people aren't happy is that they just always worried about the future. The future isn't even here yet, and they're always afraid that things aren't going to go well, they're not going to have money, they're going to be sad or depressed in the future. So they do all sorts of things now to protect themselves from the future, and in the meantime, now they're not living. Like a classic example of that is people working for money for their old age. Many people want to save money for their kids and for all sorts of future things. I'm not saying not to do that, but not to do a little bit of that, but to be afraid and to be living today always for tomorrow, always for something that didn't come yet and may not even come. You never know how long you're going to live. You don't know what's going to happen in your life. You lose out on the energy of that day, on the excitement and the happiness of that day. The Zohar says that every day has its own energy, its own life force. And if a person learns to do what he's supposed to do on that day and to be happy in that day, then he draws the energy, the life force out of that day, and he benefits from it. And if he doesn't, then what he does is he just throws out that day and he misses out. And he's always pushing out today for tomorrow, pushing out another day for the next day, and for the next day, for the next day, and the next day never comes. And he doesn't even ever come to experience the next day because his whole life he wasted on that old age idea that when he gets old, he doesn't want to be in an old age home. And his whole life, he was afraid of being put in an old age home, so he worked his whole life just so he'd have a lot of money to stay, to store it away. Many people don't even make the money, so you're working so hard now for something that might not happen. According to the Zohar, you have to understand that every day is a new energy and a new light that you have to tap into. Like a conveyor belt. Like people working in those factories where like all these Hershey Kisses. I went to the Hershey's factory once. It's really cool. You see these ladies with these hats on to cover their hair, maybe even masks. I don't know what they do nowadays. Maybe they have a full body suit also. And they have these conveyor belts and watching the chocolate bars. And the good chocolate bars, they let them go, and the bad chocolate bars, they take off. Here it's every single day that goes by is like a chocolate bar. You gotta let it go. You gotta live with it. The bad ones, you could push aside. But today is a day that you have to enjoy the way it is. You have to enjoy it for the day that it is now, and not to worry about the future. So you gotta juice the moment. You gotta juice the minute that you're in right now, and that's the way you're gonna be happy. Not to worry all the time about the future. You should make sure that not a day goes by without getting excitement and energy and feeling like you live that day. Not like days where you're just gonna be okay, I'm waiting for tomorrow, waiting for tomorrow, waiting for tomorrow. I'm gonna be a millionaire at the end of the year if I close this big deal or something like that. That's not the way to live life. You gotta enjoy today.